Michael Venom Page, it's MVP to BKFC in the surprise announcement that nobody saw coming. Talk to you, man. How did this happen? I mean, you dropped a bombshell on the world.
Yeah, like I said, I like to make noise in combat sports. So this time we did it from an announcement, not in the cage. But yeah, no, I'm excited to just make this happen. Really excited. I think a lot of people are excited as well. It's a fight that nobody knew they wanted. But now that it's announced, people are super excited and super pumped for it. Same as me. Full support of Bellator as well, which is great. When I finished the last fight, me already, I'm always eager to get straight back in. Like, I was so fresh, no injuries, nothing. I was like, yeah, let me get back in. And they didn't have anything available until October, and I couldn't wait that long. I was like, man, I need to work. So I was really looking for like other options, like another boxing fight or something. And long story short, this kind of fell towards my coaches, and they kind of like, oh, if we can potentially speak about this, we got to speak to Bellator, obviously. Spoke to Bellator, they were happy, and we just made this where we're at now.
Pretty crazy. I think you hit the nail on the head. The fight that nobody knew they wanted to see, but as soon as it got announced, you're like, oh, I can't wait to see this, man.
Yeah.
So, I mean, listen, we know, I mean, you're a mixed martial artist, but you're a striker at heart. I mean, you're a martial artist in general, but had you thought about bare knuckle? I mean, like, as this company's been growing, had you watched it and thought like, man, maybe that's something I'll do someday?
Not really, not really in that sense. That it's bare knuckle was something that I was appealing to me back in the underground days, like because a lot of guys that I used to look up to in the kickboxing world had come from bare knuckle, or had done some bare knuckle before. I've been to one show in London before. Again, it's very undercover at the time, and when it came out and it was a bit more, it was made, it got licensed and it's made legal. When I saw it, I was like, oh man, that would be cool. It's even now still, it seemed more so fighters that are kind of at the end of their careers, whether in boxing or mixed martial art, go into that. But the opportunity came for me, and I was like, you know what? Why not?
I love it. What's the reception like in England? I'm curious about that, right? Because as you said, it's been kind of underground here in the United States, but I think it's starting to gain a little bit more mainstream acceptance and understanding. What's the reception like over there? Is it are people looking at you like, bro, are you crazy? Or are they like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
no, this is just yeah, they are.
Yeah. Because although it's getting, it's becoming more popular again, it is something that no current fighters really are willing to do. So like I said, it's not something I haven't finished my career. I'm still going in the mixed martial arts world. So it was just people are just like, why do you do that? Like, why would you? They don't get it. But I like the new challenge. It's just striking, so it suits me fine. And I just wanted to keep busy.
Nice. Do you worry at all about the money makers, man? That's those hands. Sometimes in this bare knuckle, you gotta. That seems to be the biggest concern is breaking the hands. So do you worry about that at all?
Yeah, no, of course. It's this is where we have to doctor a certain, how I do certain things, how I strike, how I land certain strikes, where I'm looking for when punching, in comparison to when I'm boxing or doing mixed martial arts. So, yeah, those are concerns that we just take into account for when we're doing our training camp. So there's a certain punch that I wouldn't throw. It's the same as getting a new opponent. They have a specific style, so then there's certain punches and kicks that I just wouldn't do because of that opponent. It's exactly the same. The sport has forced me to doctor how I do things versus the opponent. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing for anybody that maybe hasn't watched bare knuckle. Is the big key that I've seen, at least so far, is shot selection is imperative, right? Because you land on somebody's forehead, all of a sudden you broke a hand, and you can't throw an elbow, you can't throw a knee, you can't throw a kick. So like you just lost half your weapon. So that seems to be the biggest thing. So is that really the biggest factor? I mean, you've got 2 months to get ready for this. It's August 20th. Are these things that you actively think about in your training camp, and these are adjustments that you make as you prepare?
No, 100%. I'd be silly not to, because then it would be a shock for me when I get in there, and that could lose me the fight essentially if I throw a wayward punch, break a knuckle, or break a thumb, which is a common thing as well, and then struggling to use that hand. I don't want that to be an excuse that I use losing a fight. I want to go in there knowing I'm fully prepared and put someone to sleep.
Nice. All right, let's talk about Mike Perry as an opponent. Obviously, you guys have been competing in different organizations. So I don't know. Do you watch other platforms? I mean, was he on your radar? Like, had you seen him compete before? And what do you think about him as an opponent?
Yeah, I've seen him compete before, years and years ago, obviously, when he was doing the mixed martial arts. And then the bare knuckle of recently, I've just seen his press conferences kept coming up on my feed because they had a bit of an exciting press conference. And then I've seen clips of the fight, but I haven't watched the whole fight as of yet. But yeah, no, so he's on my radar. I know he's a tough guy, heavy hitter, and just game for a fight.
Yeah. Well, okay. So you've seen the press conferences, then you know exactly what's coming, right? This dude's he's gonna be in your face. I mean, he's a fun guy, but he likes to make it a little thug if he can. I mean, do you welcome that as like, hey, let's have a little fun, or do you kind of like, hey, back off from me, man? You know, you're coming to my town. Don't come and act crazy in here.
For me personally, I enjoy anybody just be themselves. If that's him, then that is him. But yeah, you are coming to London, so I'd suggest you be careful just a little bit. And it's not because of me; it's because of how other people, take it. They seem to take it a lot more serious than me, and don't get that it is part and parcel. So you might run into a little bit of trouble if you go too far.
I love it. Third straight fight in England, by the way. This is a pretty cool little run for you, man. Are you enjoying this? Kind of getting to stay at home, or do you kind of miss like? I kind of must miss getting on the road and seeing the world and having that fight week experience and all that.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's nice just being at home. It's nice just being at home, not having to worry about the traveling in terms of cutting weight. Yes, you end up holding a bit of water and this and that. There's a lot of negatives that can come with it. Obviously, I enjoy traveling, but I can travel anytime. But yeah, so being at home has just been nice.
Yeah, I can relate to that. As a man that didn't fly to Singapore last week to go to the UFC pay-per-view, I kind of like staying home a little bit, so I understand. We'll talk to you. How are you looking at this, man? Is this a one-off experiment, or is this like, hey, this is the next phase of my career where I'm going to stay busy doing these things in between MMA fights?
For now, it's just a one-off. It's an opportunity. It's opportunism. I saw a great opportunity. I passed it to Bellator's way. They full support of me doing it. So for now, yeah, it's just kind of a one-off. I still got a lot to achieve within the mixed martial arts world. I do see myself going back into boxing as well at some point. But again, now, if I go in there and I enjoy it, I'm sure that is something that I might want to do again later as well. But it's just all about timing.
Do you keep training MMA in the meantime? Like, are you still doing like wrestling too, just to keep those skills sharp for when you go back?
It's important to, because like I said, I know what I'm doing next. So what I'm doing, this is not me changing sport. What I'm doing next is going to be mixed martial arts again. So I can't neglect, everything that comes with being a mixed martial artist. So 100%, we adjust a couple things during my striking training, but then everything else is the same.
What do you think the return is to MMA? I mean, do you think it's title run? Is it more about? Is it just having fun with the fights that are entertaining to you? Like, is the goal when you do return to Bellator?
It's title run. Like, how I am with payback. Like, once somebody's gotten one over on me, whether people agree with it or not, I need to get it back. So yeah, I definitely want to get that one back. So. It's 100%. Finish this fight, come back, take as many fights as I need to get that fight again.
I love it. Well, you always keep it interesting, man. You always keep it entertaining. This one came out of left field, but I'm excited about it. Everybody is. But for anybody that doesn't know, like, if you had to say, like, why do I want to watch MVP in a bare knuckle bout? What would you tell them? Maybe this is why you can't miss me August 20th.
If you've seen how I strike full stop, now it's going to be bare knuckle, you'd be stupid to miss this one.